Esta conferencia comenzará a grabarse.
Perfect. Okay. Buenos días, Marina.
Hola, buenos días, Antonio.
Morning, Lula. We cannot hear you. I don't know if you are with your mic off.
Good morning, Antonio. Can you hear me now?
Good morning, Lula. Yes.
How
now
are you?
We can hear you perfectly. Fine, fine. I have
Antonio,
had a very good night.
good. And have you seen it? Business
I
Planet
cannot hear you
compliment. Have
very
you
well.
seen it's excellent what you have done in business?
I cannot
You
hear
can't hear
you.
me very well.
Sorry.
Business Planet. Have you seen? Can you hear me now?
If you could you try again, because the noise was very.
Hola, buenos días a todos.
Buenos días, Danielle.
Good morning, everybody.
Buen día, Vasco. Happy to
Buen
see
día,
you here.
Antonio. Buen día.
Hi, Ula, again.
Hello, Antonio. Can you hear me now?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Now.
Just saying.
Good morning, it's Andre
The
from
Business Planet news is excellent. Thanks a lot for your interview.
Yes. Thank you. There is some kind of problem with your line, since that perhaps if you put your video off, the quality of the sound will be better, because it seems like you have a low bandwidth or something like that. I will try putting off the video, yes, and probably if you're speaking now, it will be better.
Is it better now?
Could you try? For sure.
Yeah,
Far better. Yeah.
Okay. No, I was just saying compliments on the Euro News Business Planet episode. You did an excellent interview, Antonio. Thanks a lot.
My wife doesn't think so. It's always no. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, no, it's very important. Thank you, because this opportunity comes from you, for your team, and it's very important to be there and to explain what the clusters, mainly what collaboration could do. And so I'm really grateful for your help on that, and we should be more on the media, because, as you know, a lot of people take decisions based on what they see in the media very well. You know that very well. So it's important to be there. But the real important movement is what we are doing here, and I'm happy because I am seeing different results, concrete results from these meetings, and that's excellent. And again, thank you for your help and support because it's critical. So it's near time. You know that we used to be very punctual, very on point with the time. Okay, so we will start near immediately. You know that for those of you that are new, we are splitting this session of 60 minutes. We could take more time, but if we agree, only if we agree. If not, we will try to fit on 60 minutes. 3 blocks. The first one is about concepts. The second is about needs, and the third is about potential solution. At the end, we will try to look for next action, possible next action. Okay, but those are the 3 main blocks. We will be very strict on the time control, because there is a lot of knowledge here. Join it, and we need to give the opportunity to speak to everyone. Today, our session is about cluster and transition, reskilling, human capital, upskilling also. Okay, I will have 4 speakers in the first block. Okay, one of them is André Richer. Bonjour, André, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Good morning, André. Thank you. Yes,
Okay.
we can hear you
Good.
perfectly. Okay. Thank you very much. We are giving you 10 minutes, okay? And you can start now if you want.
Okay. So thank you very much. Yes, the topic of skills was very important and top on the agenda until recently, till of course the crisis of the coronavirus brought a huge level of unemployment in most developed countries, and particularly in the US, where we have very new statistics every week. So here the level of unemployment is staggering. So which means that any topic that discuss with skills has a lot to do now with the recovery, and has a lot to do with bringing people back to employment and giving them the opportunity to fill the jobs when the industry is recruiting again. Because what we see in those period of crisis usually is the companies are rationalizing their business process, they are streamlining, they are cutting costs. The 2 cost items in recession which are cut first is travel, and the second is training. So and I've got already some evidence that company are already slashing budget on that. And as the big trends are showing, unfortunately, is that the lower skilled people have great difficulties to get jobs and keep jobs, while there is increasing and very huge demand for high level of skills. So in the past, we were building on the skills agenda that had been adopted in 2016. There were several actions which were in particular targeting digital skills with the Digital Skills and Job Coalition, which is managed by DG Connect, and which invite companies to make pledges and organize them and monitor them to see how the gap can be reduced. And a lot of effort was put there on basic digital skills. Another thing was strengthening the sectoral dimension, because what we had also seen is that different sectors had different needs. And it was important to have a better understanding about the needs of the sector by empowering them and providing them resource to do some labor market intelligence, but also to identify the new skills requirement, the new jobs, and the skills that are related to that, and to develop joint solution and identify best practice, and to favor the uptake of this best practice in the different sectors. So this blueprint has been for sectoral cooperation has been started in 2018 in several sectors like automotive, maritime technology, space, textile, tourism, and also additive manufacturing, construction, mining, well, you name it. I mean, there are different waves, and these are ongoing, and we would like to use them to have also a better understanding now about what is the picture, what are the big problems, the big issues, and how we can, in our plan for the recovery, bring this employment and skills dimension to facilitate, again, matching the supply and demand and giving opportunities for people to get jobs. We have also seen that in the work that we conducted last year and an event that we had on skills for industry strategy with the horizon of 2030, that they are very important dimensions which are related to territorial strategies. And where we saw that clusters play a very important role, regions and cities, because they tend to specialize in certain domain, and they have also a unique capacity to provide services, advice, and pool resource and expertise at this territorial level. So the conference was at that time a very exciting time, and we wanted to build on that. And we have established early this year an expert group on clusters, which has released the first paper, which I circulated to Antonio, which is very much for comment. And what we would like in the coming weeks is to use these networks and this expertise also to understand better, not only from a sectoral point of view, but also on a territorial point of view, from the cluster perspective, which are the need, which are the problem, the priorities, because this will be certainly a big issue. So identifying clear priorities. So I'll just give an example. I mean, there are people who say that we need to raise awareness and we need to do that at an early age and starting in schools, which is fine. But I mean, it will take time before the people, the young people get their graduation and join the marketplace. So a major issue will be both for those sector-led type of initiative and for this territorial cluster-based also expert group to identify clear priority on where European action and coordination at European level can bring short-term and visible benefit. So we would very much encourage you to do that, because we were in the course of analyzing a new initiative on based on the update of the skills agenda of 2016, and this has been postponed, as you can imagine. It was initially scheduled in March. Now it has been postponed till the month of May, but most likely it will shift a little bit. So which means that we have a window of opportunity to help shaping this policy by providing clear advice on how we could contribute from a cluster and sectoral perspective to strengthen the skills agenda of the Commission, better also mobilize and implement the different funding opportunities, because we have all heard about this big amount of money which has been earmarked for the recovery and for employment and for jobs, but you know, I mean, this has an immediate impact on the stock market, where you see the fluctuation, but it takes a lot of time before it reaches the beneficiaries and before it can have also on the ground a visible impact. So your recommendation on how best to mobilize and use this resource will also be extremely helpful for us. So maybe I will stop here at this stage, because I see I've reached my quota of 10 minutes, and I will stay here to address questions and see how we can move further on this. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup, André. I don't know to be part of the expert group on clusters, and we have here also a really good, excellent group of experts that can give insights on what we can do. So this is this session and others that we will have are also excellent forum to concrete this kind of proposals. Thank you. Ines, are you ready? Ines, we cannot hear you. Ines, perhaps you need to put your mic on. If not, we will jump to the next one and return later to Ines, okay? Danielle, Lumera, are you ready? Can you speak?
Yes, it's a pleasure and an honor to be with you this evening.
Welcome,
And
Danielle.
buenos días a todos. I'm here with my colleague and friend Roberto Pagani, and so I just want to say thank you and leave Roberto to explain our proposal. So good morning, and Roberto.
Yes, sorry, please. Antonio, could you please give me the role of speaker because I have the presentation of Roberto.
No, for sure. Roberto, okay. Who is speaking, sorry?
Ilaria.
Ah, Ilaria, okay. Thank you, Ilaria.
Thank you. And
you have the role now.
Perfect. Okay. So do you see my screen?
Yes, we see your screen.
Perfect. So I just say a few words to introduce Daniel Lumera and Roberto. Daniel is an expert in the science of well-being and quality of life, and Roberto is a social entrepreneur. And I wanted to say that this pandemic affects us as humans and impacts on the healthcare systems as people and as a system of people. This is the starting point for us because in Italy, unfortunately, in the recent weeks, we had two nurses, two medical assistants that they committed suicide because they were working with the fear of having infected others. We are facing difficult situation in this moment, you know, and we developed together with Danielle and Roberto this sort of pilot that can also be helpful in building better linkages between a social dimension and the cluster dimension. So I give the word to Roberto to present.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, go on. Roberto,
Brilliant.
welcome.
Good morning. Thank you, Ilaria, for the introduction, and thank you also, Antonio, for the opportunity to talk in this forum. It's a real honor to be here. Before we start, I just wanted to provide some context and spend a few words on the association My Life Design, of which Daniel Lumera is the honorary president, and I'm one of the founding members. It's a non-profit organization which brings into social context the method called My Life Design, which has been developed by Daniel and focuses on educating people and how to shape their own life experience through awareness and consciousness, which explains the name My Life Design. We promote values such as inner and outer awareness, peace, interconnection, in environments such as hospitals, schools, prisons, and centers for refugees. So next slide. Now we enter into the real topic of our proposal by looking first of all at the situation of healthcare workers in a normal period outside an emergency. Most workers operate in an environment which is really loaded by high levels of stress, and we name here just a few sources of stress. Clearly, in the interest of time, I will not go through them in detail, but maybe I only point to the last one, reminding that even though healthcare workers operate within a scientific environment driven by very strict protocols, they also deal with human beings, and all patients respond in their own way to illnesses and treatments. And in fact, many call for a process of rehumanization of medicine. Now, people who decide to enter the healthcare profession typically have a very strong resilience, which protects them against these sources of stress. But above all, they have a sort of inner vocation, an inner call to go and help other human beings. And they express this call through focuses on two aspects: care and cure. And it is their ability to provide genuine care to relieve other human beings of their sufferance, and also to provide a cure to the illnesses that really motivates healthcare professionals to carry on with a mission. And it is a mission, it's not a job. For many, and surely for all the voluntary staff, it is exactly a mission. I can hear some noise, but I'll carry on. So, what is happening in this period of emergency? Healthcare workers are really struggling to carry on with the mission because they are unable to provide proper care. And here we name just some of the more common reasons. Things like having to wear protective equipment and having to talk to patients' family on the phone instead of in person creates a real barrier to the normal empathic contact that is such an important part of the profession and the care. And another barrier to provide proper care is the fact that due to the peak loads, there is a need to staff on the front line some inexperienced personnel that is still undergoing training, as well as changing shift patterns that creates in workers a high levels of fatigue and also detachment from normal family life. In addition, it's also very hard to find a cure, and this is a largely unknown virus, and a lot of trial and error is required. And also the fact due to the peak loads, a lot of staff had to be reassigned in areas outside of their own specialization has caused an extra layer of uncertainty, frustration, and feeling powerless and useless. And the result is it's a real crisis for healthcare workers. They've done a study in China showing that healthcare workers responding to the emergency have reported very high rates of symptoms of depression, anxiety, insomnia, distress. And more broad studies in recent epidemic cases such as SARS and Ebola demonstrate that healthcare workers have developed symptoms which are similar to post-traumatic stress. And all of this adds to the normal level of what has been called compassion fatigue. But we believe that the worst impact is still to come once the emergency is over. And in several cases, this could bring to real identity crisis because workers could question their real role and value in life. So we move to the next slide, and we can talk about how we can try and deal with this crisis. Clearly, we've seen many organizations, associations, and even individuals offer free services in response and trying to manage the emotional and mental distress. However, in many cases, the focus is on providing recommendations on knowing what to do in such emergency cases. We believe that there is a need to further develop true life skills in the space of knowing how to be, how to find the inner resources to cope with and mitigate all the emotions and thoughts that are relating to feeling powerless, useless, incapable of controlling events, feeling unable to manage conflicts, unable to deal with sufferance, loss, and death. In Italy, we have launched a few days ago a space called Meditate, which supports healthcare workers with some approaches developed within the method My Life Design, in particular meditation and forgiveness, both of which have been studied extensively for the impact on well-being. And there are literally thousands of scientific publications of the impact of these practices. And here, for instance, we cite that meditation is included in the guidelines by the World Health Organization, and also is promoted by United Nations for its staff during this period of quarantine. So from a practical standpoint, and we move to the next slide, what we're really suggesting here, we would like to launch the idea of setting up an international and multidisciplinary task force that could provide an integrated approach that addresses all levels of well-being for healthcare workers. And we would start by listening and creating a space for simply being, which is the starting point to then create well-being. And then we would include many of the initiatives that individually have been already addressed at different levels of well-being. For instance, just looking at Italy, and here we list a few, we know that some doctors have started groups and daily appointments for breathing techniques. We know that many psychotherapists provide free sessions to deal with secondary stress. In association, we're doing our best to develop services to provide awareness and forgiveness. But here we're really suggesting that we need to bring all of this together, developing a roadmap for reskilling, and it was very interesting to hear the previous comment on skill agenda. So reskilling and reorganizing the healthcare system and really stimulate an institutional response, a response that could not only help the public and private healthcare sector recover quickly from the emergency and also avoid a potential crisis, but also embed a long-term resilience into the healthcare system. So this is kind of just a quick overview. I wanted to respect the time, but maybe next slide we just leave the finishing slide looking at on the left how to try and look at the process reorganization, and on the right looking at the reskilling both from a hard point of view and also from a life skills point of view, really in the space on knowing how to be inside, and from that space on knowing how to be, then develop all the skills to then know what to do. Thank you for your attention, and open to questions to me or Daniel.
Thank you very much. There is somebody making echo. I think it's a phone that is now probably open. Yeah, thank you. Really moving your presentation, Roberto. And I think that we need to think seriously about it and support for sure your proposals. Okay, I will say that I meditate every morning, and it is a big help for me, really a big help. Thank you. Ines, can you speak now?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Antonio?
So
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
I'm sorry because I have some problems. I'm going to active my camera. But okay, hello everyone, and thank you for inviting me.
You have now the possibility to share, to present. Are you going to do it?
Yeah, of course. But first of all, I would like to present IDEA, our cluster. Sorry, because I have had some little problems with. I'm not sure if I can share my. Yes, I think so. Sorry.
Not yet.
What I want.
Ines.
No, I don't know why.
Go on. Don't worry.
Okay, don't
worry.
It doesn't matter. I can send. Yes, I can send to you the information. Of course, as all of you know, the lack of IDEA is a cluster which represents more than 78 partners, SMS, institutions, and universities. We are recognized as an agent of innovation in the Aragonese science law, and our main aim is to promote innovation. In this area, one of our main concern is that IT professionals are insufficient, of course, in all Europe and, of course, in Spain and Aragon. This was before COVID crisis, and nowadays we know this is more important day and day. We need more professionals with IT skills, new talent, with formal education, but it is not enough to align with labor market needs. Since last year, our cluster is involved in skilling and reskilling people in order to fill in the gap in ICT. Last year, we started with a new project for young people who are not involved in ICT, but we try to train them not only with technical courses but with soft skills too. That was the past, of course. Nowadays, we are all of us really involved in solving the situation produced by COVID, and we are studying the new situation and our expertise develops quick changes, of course. We have decided to work through webinars. We are presenting webinars to all people in Aragon, not only people who are in our employment projects. As you can see in my presentation later when I send to you, if you want to join one of them, of course you are invited. We are talking about the soft skills, more important now, complex problem solving, for example, creativity, coordinating with others is one of the most important one. And that's the reason why last Thursday we create a group whose main aim is finding new ways to face the new situation. People more and more have to face new demands, new problems, and we have to face this situation with creativity. Of course, we have to support our solutions in new technologies. So we have to train people more and more in order to get a new context in work for all kind of works. Of course, there are some which are more easy to work at home, but not all of them. We are working, of course, our guidance through tools of Microsoft Teams, for example, instead of face-to-face guidance. We are available for tutorship by mail, LinkedIn, Skype, phone, WhatsApp. Everyone has a phone. Maybe not all people has a computer, but everyone has a phone. So that's the way we want to improve that kind of guidance. We have new challenges in employment that we have to solve, and in the last meeting we create a group, as I said to you. In the first meeting, 27 people was involved. People really important for us because they all of us represent different associations, institutions, and so on, and some people really expert who decided to help, because I think if someone we have learned during this crisis is that if we are that our union makes us stronger. That's the reason why we think a cluster is a really good way to cooperate. Of course, you know the figures that clusters really matter, and our challenge in employment we have to solve all together, not everyone in the part of the society he or she is involved. Of course, we have to have a special. We have to point out that people who are not in the best economical situation, and we have to help them to get better results with technology.
Ines, it's time to close.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So my the big idea I want to translate to say to you is that if we work together, it's easy. Now we are doing it in Aragon, and of course in this group, all we are doing it in European and more extensive area. So we have to cooperate more and more to find the solutions, and of course analyze the situation and know that our sorry, that of course we have, I forgot to say that there is a very interesting group. Antonio is involved, and I think maybe you can share with the group, Antonio, the
Ines, I will share it. Don't worry.
Okay,
Close.
thank you very much.
Don't worry. I will share. Yes. Thank you. Okay, just to clarify one point, when Ines is referring to that will promote the creation of a group in Aragon, is this group is composed by all the associations and organizations of any kind that are working with skills and training development here in Aragon. We launched this initiative open to everybody, and I think that we received something like 27 persons participating in the group, and they have agreed to continue meeting next week soon also, and that's the spirit. We are every day competing for funding and so on in the normal context, but we are friends, and at this moment we will collaborate also in that way. Very quickly, what Ines was trying to share with you, I will show you. Some of you could know that my background is on ICT. There is organization in the world. It's called CIONET. Okay, CIONET is the network of chief information officers. Is mostly for people with high responsibilities on ICT, and this is a very strong network in not only you see here the Spain, but this is in Europe. I think it's global, in fact, and they made a meeting, a web meeting on the 8th with something like 500 attendants. Okay, and one of the questions was, what is the impact of working from home on the productivity of your IT teams? And the results were, probably you are seeing then, that the productivity has increased in 43 of the cases. And as is the same in 38, only 19 evaluated that the productivity has been reduced. And this is very important in terms of real impact in our economy, because there are a lot of companies that are learning that working from home is not so bad. In fact, it could be better for their teams. And that means that the skills development on this kind of capacities will be critical in the future, and we need to grow over them. Okay, we need to train our people and our companies and provide them support to better use this kind of approach. Okay, and our analysis is that if we had before the crisis a lack of capacities on IT, now we will have a bigger lack because the demand will increase dramatically, and it's important for us to be ready to provide our companies, our society with the capacities that they will need. Okay, and I will show you quickly and for those CEOs, Chief Information Officer, the budget mostly is keeping in the same or increasing, and the forecast on the future market share is also increasing. So those are important facts to share. Here I stop. Sorry. We will come back to the blocks, and we are jumping to needs. So the floor is yours. Everybody have 3 minutes. And we will start immediately.
Antonio, I'm Ilaria. Could you please share with us the link you were showing us?
It's private. It's private. It's not
Okay.
public. Sionet is a private network. I will send you the screenshots. I have invited then the president is from Belgium. I have invited the president to share with us in another session the results, the analysis, but for now I don't have an answer. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Needs.
I can start if you want.
Please.
To break the ice. Congratulations to the Meditate initiative, because I think it's something that's not usually talked about. And if there is one time in history that this type of attempt at doing things differently, it is possible to come through, it is now. And to state the need, I would say that the entire economy needs to take over this methodology, or the entire society. We can start with the medical sector, but we need to make the message come through that every sector benefits from implementing it. So I would say that it is not only the medical, but everyone else that will benefit. So the entire economy needs to apply it.
Thank you, Daniel. More needs.
Good morning. I have a proposal. I don't know if you will agree or not. I look at the Ilaria summaries that she put in the share folder and are really good. Thank you very much, Ilaria. And I would like to propose that we can do a PPT or small document with all the needs already mentioned every day, with all the solutions, and maybe include a third block to try to find, okay, we propose needs, we propose solutions, so then what is the action? Maybe we can concrete more and try to avoid repeating every day the same needs or the same solutions. I don't know, what do you think?
I totally agree. You know that. Yeah, we will work on it. But it's a lot of work, and one request will be to raise your hand, whoever wants to help Ilaria in that work, because we have a lot of
If you
proposals.
agree, I start working in the first two summaries that are already uploaded, try to find what are the needs. Maybe there are some common, and just put in one short sentence, not all the description. And also the solutions, big sentence, and maybe every day we can concrete more with the definition of the need or the solution, and then try to find if any solution can involve an action, and just share it and work on this document and try to improve it all together.
And we will share it in Slack.
Yeah, of course.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
So you need help, because it's a lot of work.
Well, up to now there are only two summaries, so for the moment I can manage. Maybe if we will get a lot of them, for sure. Or maybe we can.
It will be possible to review the videos. We have all the videos. It will be good to review the videos and to add another needs and it's a possibility.
Yeah, maybe we can do a small group and try to split a little bit the work. Could be nice.
Yeah, I think so. Thank you.
Yes, Eloy, I agree with you. Some part of the work is in progress, so I'm doing a part of this. Also, following your idea to develop a PowerPoint with all the recognition of needs and solution and possible action. I'm doing that, is in progress, so for sure in these days we can work together on it.
So yeah, for sure, you are the lead, we can say, doing that. Tell me what you need to do, or which video you want to that I watch, or what is missing, and I can help you for sure.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
More needs. I could identify a lot of needs from Roberto's presentation. I think that's critical. The healthy health professional are our biggest heroes now, and they need our support. So I would say that we need to think seriously about what can we do to help them. More needs. With the meeting of the group here in Aragon, there were a lot of people speaking about the needs of the poor people and those that are not so well. That doesn't have the money or the resources to be comfortable in their home and so on, and those that are now unemployed and without their capacity to quickly access to another job. So that's they have a very hard reality in front of them for the next month. There is a big need for joining forces to reach for them and support them. More needs.
I can speak, always, I mean, I'm still Ilaria. I can tell you that in the Cremona departments in Lombardia region, we are facing some reskilling need for the orientation services. So with the aim of facing the skill gap, anyway, the starting point we see that can be reskilling orientation people and services. And this is not easy task to do, but it have a very great impact.
Yeah, totally agree. More needs. I'm sure that there are a lot of needs.
Antonio, there is in the presentation from the Meditate, it was said that the plan is to create an interdisciplinary task force. We need to see how it works, what it needs, to the need to see what it needs, and find out if there is any way to coordinate that, provide resources, volunteering, or some people who want to participate in the initiative, contribute. Is it at the European level? Do we have people who want to start in their own country? Can you extend the model from Italy to the rest of the countries more relatively easily? Is it only an online resource, or is it also have work in the ground? We need more information and a roadmap. It doesn't have to be now, but
yeah, that could be one subgroup from this one. Danielle, would you state some need? Yeah.
No, then when in the space for the answer, and it's not here the space where we can develop the project. So I wait, and then we can speak about this. Okay.
I don't fully understand. I understand that this is not a forum. I could understand that, but I could say that whatever we could do to support you, please tell us.
Okay, so maybe I say a few things about the needs that we see in terms of being able to develop this further. First of all, I'd like to say that this is, I really like the intervention from, I think, Danielle, because it talks about the fact that this is broader than just healthcare. Clearly, we had to start somewhere. This only in healthcare could become massive, but it is absolutely our conviction that this is the time to be able to leverage the fact that so many people have to go inside because they are forced in a situation where they are limited environment, they don't have much to do. So now is the time to be able to bring people to the space of being and getting in touch with the inner situation that everybody of us has, but normally with the doing, we forget. But clearly, this could be very, very broad. Now, in terms of needs specifically for the healthcare, which is, we just decided to pick that as an area of focus, which is also in line with our activities as an association. What we need is it's a table, and ideally we are quite small in Italy, so we don't have access. But if this could be set up as a working table with international support, with policymakers, what we want to do is to bring together many disciplines. So people who know about physical well-being, people who know about mental and emotional well-being, people like us who focus on the conscious and awareness well-being, all of this brought together. It is very hard for us to state exactly what we need, but people like you who have connection with other associations, with policymakers, could potentially help us bring together this forum and start a working party that is really going to state what is possible in this period, which is so critical, especially for the healthcare sector, which is about to undergo a crisis, but also, this could be much broader.
Yeah, perfect. And we are offering you our support, whatever we can do to help you. This team, what we call the European Alliance Against Coronavirus, is not exactly a forum of clusters. The aim and the purpose is to join here whoever is volunteering in this fight, okay? But we don't need to give our name, or our support doesn't mean that you need to put us in the front or say that state our name, nothing related to that. So whatever the way that we could give you our help, come with it.
Thank you, much appreciated.
More needs. So we jump to solutions. 10 minutes for solutions. Could you suggest some solutions?
Antonio, good morning. It's Veronica.
Hi, Veronica.
Coming back to possible cluster policies. I was thinking in these days, since I'm the coordinator of one of the new ESCP4X, so European Strategic Cluster Partnerships for Excellence, and our task is, of course, to professionalize our skills as cluster managers and to professionalize our services and support to members, and also through some methodologies to identify new support services to members. So my idea in this week is to use this current project to include the study and of new services concerning reskilling, upskilling, and also possibly some social support or other kind of needs that the members can have. So in my idea, I would like to use this project as a kind of a small pilot at European level. We are 7 partners. We already cover 6 countries. Of course, we are vertical because the project concerns the railway sector, the railway technologies. But I feel the need to discover more opportunities for us to help our members. So just to say that along the way I can provide, of course, insights about the path that we are doing, and that maybe DG Grow could suggest also the other 12 ESCP for X to include also this part, this new mission, social mission into their projects.
Thank you. Thank you, Daria. More solutions.
Antonio, Daniel speaking from Slovakia. I'm not sure whether this is directly to the topic of what you are discussing, but in Slovakia, we had one call which was open since 2017 for emergency situations, and the managing authority shifted this call or changed it. It didn't have to open a new call, but changed the old call for the COVID-19 and added some sub-activities or activities like management of such situations at the local and regional level. So mostly it's for cities, regions, and villages. But they also open it to supply or to buy new equipment or medical devices. And also the third sub-activity is for training, education, and exchange of information. So my message is that because it takes quite a lot of time to create a new call, that look at the currently open calls and readjust it to the current situation. That's what happened in one call in Slovakia. That's from my side. Thank you.
You're welcome, Daniel. Very good. Thank you. More solutions.
Training, for example, is really important. We support training, of course, and we have the means through every kind of platforms as Teams, LinkedIn. So we have a lot of opportunities for rural areas too, in which older people are not so used to use it.
Yeah.
We have created new opportunities, new employment opportunities in rural areas, for example, related to old people.
I will expand on that. We had the idea some months ago to create some specific training to enable people that is not coming from ICT to quickly introduce themselves in the ICT environment, and we have adapted it to with using the funds that we have from some public projects and with the agreement of the public authorities, just to help them in this situation. And we are developing very quickly new programs for them, as Ines told just now, opening it to everybody, not only for the people that is in the programs, okay, and setting it with I think that they are delivering, my team is delivering something like one session, open session every 2 days, sorry, something like that. I don't know. But I think that one of the key solutions for this situation is the training, online training, okay, with mentoring, not only just courses, if possible, with mentoring, okay, but people is at home now, and they are willing to spend time on this. Okay, so there is a big opportunity to develop quality contents, supporting them in this moment, and it could be also about meditation. Why not? Okay, it could. Ines was speaking before about soft skills. So one of the important soft skill could be how to deal with depression, or how to deal with the stress, or those problematics. Not only about ICT skills. I'm not speaking only about ICT. There are far more needs than just ICT.
Of course, and welfare is really related with this.
Thank you, Ines.
Thanks.
More solutions.
Antonio, I was thinking about the presentation, the very good presentation of My Life Design, and I think that the opposite occurs, the opposite in terms of being too much busy, occurs with people that got unemployed. They are now stressed with the other way around. They don't feel useful. They feel confined with nothing. They don't know how to feed their families. So the stress is equally high. And one of the solutions could be to create if it was voluntary. I don't think it should be as a voluntary gratis work, because they need to feed their families. So maybe if the authorities that know the skills of the unemployed people, because there are registered for sure, if each of them could be used like reinforce work to help in what is basic, like for instance, hospitals need more technical people for maintenance, and so on. So to use these people, and that would distress them, but also the program of My Life Design could help.
Thank you, Aurora. I know that there are programs on that line, but yeah, I totally agree. Thank you. More possible solutions. Jonathan, welcome. You are a professional on that side. You haven't said anything, but I know that you have a lot of needs and even perhaps some solutions. Could you share? Okay. Anyone else? More solutions?
I can just say one thing.
Sure.
Now that Ula is here and she's part of the government in the European sense, there will probably be billboards, leaflets, summaries created with instructions, recommendations, maybe just getting to include one single very little paragraph, one line at the bottom of the recommendations for the general population that points to this type of things. Remember that you can go within, remember that you need to take care of yourself physically, mentally, be grateful. I don't know, there are lots of experts who can come up with the right sentence, but it's only one little sentence in their general recommendations would be the entry point for people to gain curiosity and say, what is this thing that they're talking about? And then there is a whole set of features that they can discover. Somebody who has never had any access to it, there is always one day that you discover. And maybe just one sentence in the general recommendations could be the entry point for many people.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you for this.
Sorry. Ula.
Okay, so yeah, a very good idea. Thanks, Daniel. I will
We are having problems hearing you, Ula.
see whether I can manage to channel this idea upwards because of clicking on T and as well as so I think today my line is just too bad. I will then type something.
Yeah, I don't know why you have some noise problems with the quality of the line today. Yeah. Okay.
So maybe if I can just say something on what Daniel has said, which I think is great. And I just wanted to remind that the World Health Organization has dispensed general guidelines for well-being, and they include healthy eating, physical exercise, and meditation. So we have something very strong from World Health Organization to build on. And I think the idea of just having a little paragraph, one line that points to that, it is very much to many people an unknown resource, but is one that in this period is becoming very, very helpful. And just to cite something, in Italy, as I said, we have launched Meditate. It's an online service. Every night at 7 p.m., we offer the opportunity to guide a short meditation. It's called 12 Minutes for You, 12 Minutes for Being Together. And at that meditation, normally there is something like 3,500 people connecting all together. This creates a very, very powerful moment of connection. Now, clearly, there are many, many more people that could be reached. And it will be very, very effective here to try and develop a link between a new way of being with also the impacts on biology, on health, on well-being. Daniel is collaborating with a Harvard researcher called Immaculata De Vivo, has written a book with her, and there is also the potential to really substantiate with scientific studies, which not only, very often meditation is being kept on the behind, something that people do, maybe even being ashamed of it, now has become something which is very powerful, something you can talk about and something you can study, and there is a very, very powerful impact on the well-being of people. So we will send a presentation, but it will also be my contacts. If anybody has connection with people who, I like also the idea of providing training platforms on meditation. We have in Italy an academy, which is an online platform where people can go and learn. But connecting is really what we need, and we cannot state exactly what we need because we don't know. But people like you who have much more versatility with this type of developments, we'd really love to provide our insight, our input, and our energy to drive this forward. So thank you for all the support.
Perfect, Roberto. The European collaboration platform, which depends of the European Commission, has created a COVID-19 response forum. You have it in the screen, okay? I will suggest you to share this reference on the forum, okay? Perhaps in the I can help paragraph, okay? Because we will reference it there, your suggestion, and if you share it in the forum, perhaps you could receive also question, answer, and create a dialogue on this point, okay? But very, very important what you said, and we need to promote it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Antonio, Here is Nancy from AIN. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, yes. I would like to share with you some concern that I think that clusters and more of us, we are coming from industry and from digital framework. Yeah, maybe because we are talking a lot about this social part, but in other hand, as you know, currently our young students, they have some, I don't know what will be happen because, everything is more or less close, and maybe this lack that we have from the professionals related IT, as you mentioned at the beginning, and also which crucial industry are giving us support in this extreme condition, it will be great if we can in somehow establish some common platform where young students can, because they are used to play, you know, they are very high technological skill, they can, it's easy for them, but increasing their awareness, but at the same time having them very actively involved in just special game where you can gather industry, for example, or agri-food industry, IT support, or makers in somehow, and make them interactively, just creating awareness, and maybe we can attract them to these industries and digital professional for the future.
Perfect. Any other suggestion on solutions? Okay, it's time. It's past time, in fact, but I think this session was really important. As Andre said at the beginning, we will have the opportunity to write down all these ideas and even include them in a proposal to send to the Commission, to the Spur group on skills. I am a member of the Spur group. I can directly put them, propose these ideas to the Spur group on skills. Anyway, we will not wait for that. We should act as soon as possible, immediately, if possible. So I would suggest to continue the dialogue through the forum and through our mail and through every way that we think that we could help as soon as possible. Roberto, please send us all the information that you can, okay? Probably you have read the message from Lula in the chat. Thanks, Danielle, good idea. I will share this idea internally, and also very good idea that we encourage other SCF for to consider social dimension. So,
sorry, Ilaria speaking. Can I just add a very short detail? I'm thinking about the concept of investment. I mean, some people think still today that investing in the social dimension is a sort of investment without return. And this is what we have to change, because it's not true. And we are demonstrating that investing in this dimension can really leverage energies that, and without them, we can go on. So this is, I think, a key point also in linkages, these two different words.
perfect. It will be good to help make it easy to understand that point, to put some numbers of to give some kind of study that could help easy to convince people about that. I totally agree. Yeah, perfect. So actions, there are a lot of action from today's discussion. I think that we need to put this in writing. It's very important to share it as much as possible, to identify concrete next steps. One for me will be to study how to support Roberto's proposal and others. We should speak again about this subject soon, I suppose. Okay. Thank you, everyone. See you soon, I hope. Tomorrow, next meeting. Bye.
Bye, adios.
Ciao, ciao.
Tomorrow at same hour, same time.
9:30.
Antonio, have you gotten masks for this region that was really, really bad yesterday?
Yes, we are connecting with them. Yeah, Jonathan is here. Jonathan is my main contact with them. He hasn't speak. I suppose that he is new to this group, or perhaps he has problem with the micro. But yes, we are on it. Thank you, Aurora.
Thank you.